Hello, welcome to day 4 of this 30-day beginner yoga challenge. We're going to start on our mat. Bring your knees to the outside edges of your mat. Bring your feet behind you. Walk your hands out to the front of your mat and place your forehead down on the mat. And let's breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Let's transition into a tabletop. From the tabletop, we're going to thread the needle. Bring your right hand all the way up to the sky and thread it in between your arm and your knees. Place your right ear down to the mat. Keep your hips right above your knees in this pose. And make sure your hips are squared down toward the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky, thread it through on your left side. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to center. Right, tuck your toes. We're going to go into downward facing dog. Walk out your dog here. Bring some movement into both of your legs, into the backs of your legs and your calves. You can bend your knees here as much as possible. Come to your tippy toes. And once you find stillness, breathe here. Look up to the top of your mat. Bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, straighten your back. Exhale, bow down over your feet. Inhale, slowly start to rise all the way up to standing. At the top, shrug your shoulders. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up to mountain pose. And let's start with the twist. Exhale, twist all the way to the left. Make sure your hips are facing completely forward. You're only twisting in your upper body here. Come back to center. Twist to the other side. Again, keep your hips facing forward here. Inhale, back to mountain pose. Exhale, all the way down to your mat. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, let's go into a plank. And you can either go into a chaturanga here, into an upward facing dog, or you can go into a cobra. Go to a plank all the way down to your mat. Inhale, cobra, slightly lift up with your back. I'm going to go back now into a downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the top of your mat. Exhale, walk there. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, melt down. Inhale, chair pose. Sink down into an invisible chair. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to go into prayer twists. Start on the left. Bring your right elbow on the outside edge of your knee and look off to the left. Breathe here. Come back to center. And we're going to the other side. Exhale, float down to the mat. It's going to gorilla pose. Bring your feet hip-width distance apart. Bring the tops of your hands all the way underneath your toes. And let your head and neck and shoulders hang heavy. Bend your knees a lot in this pose. Once you're ready, bring your hands out from underneath your feet. Let's go into a flat back once again. Exhale, chaturanga or cobra pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high, square your hips down to the mat. Exhale, bring your foot between your hands. Inhale, low lunge. Or another option is you can bring your left knee down to the mat. I'm going to go back up into low lunge, but you can stay with your foot on or your knee on the ground. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to twist here, similarly to prayer twist. Let's start on the left this time. And hook your left elbow onto your right knee. Come back to center. All the way down to the mat. And then let's do a deep stretch on your calf. Come back to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Bring your knee into your chest. Exhale, place your foot between your hands. Like I said, you can come here with your knee down on the mat or up. Either way works in this pose. Hands to heart center, and we're going to do the other side. Prayer twist. Inhale, come back to center. Come down to your knee and slightly go backwards with your glutes and your leg. Back to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high. We're going to go into half pigeon pose here. So you can come into this pose where you lay your right leg across the mat and then find a comfortable position for your upper body. You'll want to keep your right foot flexed in this pose to protect your joints. But you can come all the way down, or if that hurts and doesn't feel comfortable, you can try this alternative option, which is laying pigeon pose, just laying down. So you'll kind of thread your foot through your left and bring your arms through. So I'm going to go back to pigeon pose, but you can take whichever variation you would like. And breathe here. All right, let's come back to a plank and then transition into downward facing dog. We're going to flip our dog here just to bring movement to our hip, and then lift your left leg up, going into half pigeon on the other side. Again, if you want to be laying on your back with this position, go for that. If that's what you did on the other side, or if you did pigeon on the other side, go ahead and do the same thing on this side to even it out. Slowly make your way to the ground if that feels comfortable, or you can stay kind of lifted up in your torso. All right, come back up into a downward facing dog. Again, we're going to lift up our leg and just flip our dog a little bit. And slowly make your way to where you're lying on your stomach on your mat. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, bring your chin down to the mat. Inhale, cobra one more time. Exhale, bring your chin down. Bend your knees. We're going to go into bow pose. Grab the tops of your ankles or your feet. Whatever you can grab is totally fine. Inhale here. Exhale, bow pose. Bring your head off your mat and your upper back. And if you slightly wiggle here on your torso, that's totally normal. Exhale, come down to the mat. Place your right ear onto the mat. And then move to your left ear on the mat. Let's come up to standing on our knees. We're going to go into camel pose. Bring your hands as if you're putting them into two imaginary back pockets. Arch your back a little bit here. Engage your glutes. And slowly start to look all the way up to whatever point you can. And exhale, sit your glutes down to your knees, fully relax. Breathe here. Let's come to lying down on our back for the last pose, almost second to last pose of the class. We're going to go into supine twist. Bring your right knee up into your right armpit, grab it, hold it tight, and then you'll move your right leg over your left leg and twist from your torso. Put your right and left arms out to the sides of you and look off to your right. Make sure your shoulders are glued to the mat here. Come back to the center. Bring your right leg down to the mat. Bring your left leg up and into your armpit. And then slightly twist it to the left. Gaze off onto your left now. Slowly make your way back towards center. Curl yourself up into a little ball. Bring your forehead to your knees if possible. Inhale here. Exhale, Shavasana. Burst out. Get comfortable. Wiggle anything out that needs to be wiggled out. Bring your shoulder blades down your spine. Allow your body to fully relax and fully let go. As you're in Shavasana today, let's just do a full body scan, starting from our toes all the way to our head, asking ourselves, how are we today? Let's start to slowly bring some movement to our fingers and our toes. You can roll your wrists here, roll your ankles. Inhale, come into a pencil stretch, reach your arms up, point your toes. Exhale, roll off to your side. Slowly make your way up to a seat. And that concludes day 4 of our yoga challenge. And you will also repeat this video for day 5, which will be on Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining, and see you on Wednesday.